So I just had a very interesting situation transpire, right? First off, dealing with allergies, dealing with a little bit of a cold. So ignore the fact that I sound like somebody's pubescent teenage son. Now, my daughter just came home from being with her dad and his girl over the weekend. And the thing is, what she told me when she returned put me in a position for two different things to transpire, right? One, it definitely pissed me the fuck off because as a parent, you want to protect your children from the things that you know are less than positive for your children. You see what I'm saying? There's an air of wanting people to do better just because you want them to do better, but mainly wanting them to do better for your children. That as a good parent, you just cannot help but breathe. You see what I'm saying? At that same token, it's also placed me in a position to be so freaking proud of her and to low-key give myself a pat on the back, because through watching me, through listening to me, she trusts me, and she trusts me enough to do what I'm telling her to do. You know what I'm saying? The baby was able to stand up for herself. And even though the reaction to her standing up for herself was less than desirable, it was very immature from an adult perspective. It's only but so much you can do when you can do it. You see what I'm saying? Part of protecting our children goes past physically protecting our children and into giving them the tools that they need to protect themselves. You see what I'm saying? Giving her the ability to, giving her the knowledge she needs to be able to tap into her own emotional intellect, her own ability to stand up for herself and say what needs to be said, what it needs to be said. Her understanding that it's not always what you say, it's how you say it that will make a difference. Her also understanding that you don't have any control over how other people respond to you standing in your truth, but to do it anyway. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of her. I am so proud of her. At that same token that I'm proud of her, and that's where I'm choosing to leave my attention, I also cannot ignore that irritating and quite nagging voice in the background that is a reminder that you really have to be smart about the people you have children with. Because number one, that person is going to be there helping you raise your child, especially if they choose to be there forever. You cannot get rid of them. That person is going to be with you like genital warts, baby, forever. Okay. Number two, there is no telling, because people change, things change. There is no telling whether or not you and that person will stay together. And just like there's no telling whether or not you and that person will stay together, there's no telling the type of individual they will latch on to after you. You see what I'm saying? I just so happened to have gotten in a situation where, again, and I've said it before and I'll say it 1,000 times, I got with somebody who at the time, because I was ignoring myself and my own healing, I did not realize was a fucking narcissist. Quite literally. We did not work out, obviously. And the individual that he got with, I don't know her from a can of paint, but what I do know is that baby is childish. She is not emotionally or mentally matured enough to have even the amount of children that she's had, much less be involved with mine. That's my personal opinion. But it's an opinion rooted in the facts that have been presented to me. And I don't have any control over either of those people. or any of the things that they do where my child is concerned, so long as there's no hurt, harm, or danger physically present. Legally, there's nothing I can do except for control my emotions and continue to give my child the tools that she needs to protect herself. It's a frustrating position to be in because you want to shoot a text and be like, first off, the fuck? But especially when you and the young lady don't communicate, and you and the young man communicate poorly, not of any fault of your own, but because it's a narcissist's natural instinct to defend themselves even when they dead ass wrong. It's a matter of 555 when I look up. It's a matter of controlling your emotions and not allowing your emotions to control you. Period. It's a matter of understanding that sometimes all you can do is what you can do. And that's it. And you just got to focus on what you can do. Because bringing attention to what you could have, should have, would have done, it's not going to do nothing but piss you off more. And distract you from the child at hand. You know. I don't know. This one is a note to myself for sure. But it's a note to myself to continue on the path that I'm on. To not allow situations that trigger me to take me out of character, but to respond in character. Not only that, it's a reminder for individuals in the future, especially if you don't have kids yet, as a person with a child, be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real with yourself about where you are in yourself. Because if you are not mature enough for or in yourself, baby, a child is not going to do nothing but add fuel to that fire. Okay? Be so fucking for real about the person that you're thinking about having children with. Whether it's man, woman, rainbow, unicorn, pony, it does not fucking matter. Be so fucking for real. Okay? About the individual in question. Past your love for them. Past what you think you see in them. Past what you, because it don't deal with the potential in individuals. Oh, he has the potential to be such a great, but is he now? Oh, she has the potential to do but does she now? Okay, how does the individual in question handle conflict? How do they handle the word no? How do they handle not getting what they want? What are they like around other people's kids? What are they like around kids in their family? How do they deal with crying? How do they deal with annoyance? How do they deal with not necessarily having the funds to do what they want to do versus doing what they got to do? Okay? How do they deal with you in other people's presence? How do they deal with children in other people's presence? How do they deal with you and children when y'all are alone? Okay. Does this individual have the tendency to deflect, or are they solution-based? In regards to being solution-based, are they one of those people that want motherfuckers around them to operate solely off of their charm or fear? Or how does that work? What does it look like when they get what they want? What does it look like when they're attempting to get what they want, rather? Okay? So many different things, so many different questions, so many different scenarios to consider before bringing another individual into the question. Because your children, yes, they're your children, and you bring them into the world, but they come into the world, once they detach from you, all on their own. They own individuals. They own people. And you can't go with them everywhere. You can't follow them everywhere. You can't protect them from everything. Sometimes babies get sick, and when they get sick, unless they coughing directly down your esophagus, baby, they get sick by themselves. You see what I'm saying? And you can't do anything but deal with the problem at hand once it becomes a problem at hand. It's a matter of paying attention to not just the people around you, but yourself. And that's what this situation is showing me. Like, I cannot allow my thoughts I can't allow my thoughts to be fed by my emotions and thus control my behavior. I have to plan my work. I have to work my plan. I have to be cautious. Okay? I have to be observant. And most of all, right now, the truth of the matter is I have to be still. Sometimes the best way you can protect your children is to document what needs to be documented and to shut the fuck up. To say what needs to be said, to ask what really I'm learning, especially dealing with this individual in particular, is to ask the questions that are needed, to watch the response, to state my facts, and to shut the fuck up. This is not a conversation we're going to drag on all day, sir. The truth of the matter is, I don't want to talk to you. I don't. Talking to you, there are so many things. Talking that I would rather do. Talking to you feels like sandpaper across my goddamn nipples on a hot sunny day. Okay? I would much rather take a nap. I would much rather have the energy to play with my child. But see, I can't have that energy to engage properly with my child if I'm emotionally drained because of conversation with you. Conversation with you that has and will continue to go absolutely the fuck nowhere. Especially because you're willing to die on your wrong ass heels. You're quite willing to be loud and wrong. And you've shown me that on a plethora of occasions. Asking questions is more important than making statements when it comes to certain individuals, certain types of individuals. Because you learn a lot about where they are mentally based off the way they respond to the questions you ask. Period. And not allowing their responses to the questions that you ask to send you spiraling down an emotional rabbit hole, that's the key. That's it right there. You see what I'm saying? It puts you in a position to be able to not just properly observe, but to properly respond. It takes you out of a reaction space and puts you into a responsive state. You see what I'm saying? At that point, it doesn't matter what the fuck they say. You've got full control of yourself, which means you've got full control of everything around you. I don't know. I forgive myself for the shit that I did when I ain't know no better. When I didn't want any better. Because that's really what that was. When I didn't realize I could have any better. I could be any better. I could do any better. I forgive myself. I do. And the truth of the matter is, I forgive him too. I forgive her as well. Now, forgiveness doesn't mean acceptance. Doesn't mean that I'm accepting of or happy with your behavior. It just means that the emotions, the negative emotions that are tied to your behavior, that generate from my body based off of receiving your bad behavior, I don't need anymore. Period. I'm exiting out of a space of reacting to your poor behavior and entering a space of responding to the situation at hand. Period. And that's all right. That's all right. Does that make me a little crazy? It might. And so what? I would rather be crazy and rational than what other people would deem sane and irrational, because truly the sane thing to do to a good collective of individuals, it would be to send that text message, would be to cuss Shorty out and to run his name through the mud. I'm from here to Timbuktu. But the truth of the matter is, I don't have that energy. I'm too old for that. The truth of the matter is, I'm too tired for all that. I'm very solution based. So either we're going to fix the problem and move forward properly, or you going to fuck off. I'm going to say what I got to say, and you going to get the fuck on from around me. Want to know why? Because I'm going to get the fuck from around you. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to these individuals and these situations, what I've learned is, my friend, is not trying to correct the individual or correct situations with the individual, but to document everything. Everything, everything, everything. Document their behavior and their responses. Document my child and what she could, because that baby is not going to sit there and lie to me. You know what I'm saying? Document, just documentation. Period. Period. And that's another thing. You'd be surprised who's watching. You know, you'd be surprised what people pick up on. Because teachers pick up on more than a little bit. They with your kids for 8 to 9 hours in a fucking day. You'd be surprised the little things that they pay attention to. You'd be surprised at how, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, how that shows up via your children. I am thankful for the opportunity to have been tested, because that was a test for me. And I'm not saying that moving forward from here, everything is going to be peaches and cream. But you know what I do know? I do know that Spirit watches over me. Spirit watches over my child. What I do know is hard times don't last always. And you don't get to do bad shit to good people forever. What I do realize is karma is, in fact, not a bitch. She's just very calculated. And she take her time. She's very feminine in her energy. She ain't rushing for shit. I also know where karma is concerned, the tables very frequently do turn, especially when you about your business and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. When it comes to my child, just pray protection over my baby, always. And I pray that she have the tools that she needs to get where she's going, to be who she's supposed to become. I pray that I provide her with all of the love and the care and the tools that I'm supposed to provide her with and more. I pray that my baby is protected from hurt, harm, danger, and distraction, always. And if that shit does make its way in her path, I pray that she's understanding of how to handle it. Because I know I cannot shield her from everything. I'd be doing her a disservice if I did. I'm thankful. I'm so proud of my baby. I'm thankful that she, even now at 5, has the ability to stand in her authority and her own power and to speak her own truths. Even against adults. I remember being that young and being too scared to even speak. Too scared to even look in the face of the adults that were in my circumference at that time. Unless I was in trouble, because I used to do that all the time. Look at me when I'm talking to you. For her to be able to stand up for herself and to speak her piece, I could not be more pleased. I'm thankful that she's so comfortable with me. She not only spoke her piece then, but she came home and told her truth again. This is what happened. This is what was said. This is how I felt. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful. I try so hard to be a good parent, to be a mindful parent, to be an intentional parent. And I'm thankful that that's showing up. And my tries are not in vain. This is a note to self about endurance. Truly. Sometimes you will endure shit that's less than desirable. But getting through it is not impossible. It's almost necessary. Mm. These situations, too, let me know how much I've truly grown. 2002 when I looked up. These situations let me know truly how much I've grown, because before I would have reacted so much differently. The way that I used to react to things sent to trigger me or to disturb my peace. One thing about me, baby, I was reactive. None of more. 2034 when I looked up just now. At this point, I'm very much so more responsive, and I'm appreciative of that growth. I have to honor that growth in myself, because I understand and I remember when I did not have that, when I was not that grown. I'm going ahead and get off of here. It's just sometimes you have to find the blessings that are in your tests. Period. You can't always do something about everything. Sometimes you doing something literally is you shutting the fuck up and sitting still. Sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes it's the best thing to do. Spirit works things out in mysterious and miraculous ways. Who am I to get in the way of them doing what they got to do? I'm going to let you have it. It's above me now. Period. And I pray to continue to respond and not react. I pray to continue on the path that I'm meant to be on. I will not be letting these bitches take me out of character. I will not be letting these motherfuckers get me beside myself in my James Brown voice. So, I'm just thankful. I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.